welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to discuss these thoughts that had caught me off guard the other night. I was deep into my fasting and I had caffeine too late in the day. Oh my gosh, my cat was eating something off the floor. I tried to get it, but she already ate it. But anyway, I was deep in my fasting and I had caffeine, Coke Zero, too late in the day. So I was up, okay? So I was just thinking, just uncovering, uncovering family, trauma, the different things that came to me at this big age in my 40s, came to me after over 2 decades of when some of these experiences happened. So let me start by saying I became a teenage mother when I think I had my son close to 17. And after that, I had got a job at a really good bank, right? Worked my way up, was a teller, then became like a personal banker. So when you're a personal banker, you do a little bit of everything. So I learned about mortgages. Y'all, something is in my eye. I learned about mortgages. I formed relationships with clients. I helped them refinance. So I was well versed in refinance, home equity lines of credit, home equity loans, car loans, you name it, I knew about it. The training was very robust, so I was very confident in the information I provided my clients. I always kept a good relationships with my clients, and you'll see how this story goes into what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so yeah, I was in my early 20s and I was making good money. I'm not even gonna lie. The benefits were good. My son's daycare was paid for. I had stock options. I paid off a lot of stuff. Anyway, so this one client came to me and was like, I was single. She was like, I have a guy I want to hook you up with, somebody I work with. Again, like I said, I take good care of my clients. Whatever they need, they call me. You got it. You want to do an application over the phone? You got it. I'm there. So fast forward, I gave her my number. She ended up giving it to my now ex-husband, and I told her not to. But anyway, we ended up getting married. We dated, got married. Everything was all good. He didn't mind that I was a teenage mom. I was from the city, so our backgrounds are totally different. I grew up in Baltimore, not college educated. Did I have some college? Yes, but I did not have my degree. His family, total opposite. 2-parent household, both parents government jobs, both of them college educated. The whole family was college educated. They had doctors in the family. That family was very well off, especially, and let me just add in, they were black. They're black. I came from a single household. My mom wasn't college educated, but she had some college. She did, I would say, pretty good for herself, but it was just a different feel, because it's like, how could someone like him want to be with me? I'm a single mom, teenage mom. Well, I was a teenage mom, an adult, no college degree, want to be with someone like me. I just felt like, in a way, of course, being a teenage mom, no parent wants their child to be a teenage mom. So I felt like I still carried around shame, because my mother was embarrassed that, I was a teenage mom. But after she accepted that I was a teenage mom and I was keeping my son, she was like, oh, you're such a good mom, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? So what I'm getting into, and I don't know if I want to divide this in parts, and I'm not into doing parts. Sometimes I just like to just say the whole story. If you pause it and then come back to it, because that's what I do sometimes. If it's a long video, I'll pause it, come back, pause it, come back. But yeah, so we ended up getting married. His family was very accepting of not only just me, but my son. My father-in-law, rest in peace, he passed away. He would take my son out, fishing trips. Mind you, my son, again, is not biologically his son's son. So my son would sometimes spend a few weeks over at my in-laws' house They would go out. My mother-in-law would have the house stocked with all of my son's favorite snacks. She would cook breakfast, lunch, dinner. He had his own like space over there. When me and my ex-husband would come over there, she would she would listen to like some of the conversations we would have, and then when we would come over there, she would have our favorite snacks. She would even have my favorite wines. She would cook for us. Like, she used to make the best salads. Like, when I tell you, his mother made me feel so loved and appreciated. We had good conversations. So I didn't have evil in-laws, and it just it just meshed. I can't even put into words like how blessed I was. And I feel like hindsight, when I think about it, sometimes I wouldn't want to share certain things with my family because I just didn't. And then the things I did share, they would try to act like they were happy for me, but they really weren't. There's something else I wanted to say. That's what it is. Like, my mother, like, I would tell her about certain things with my mother-in-law, and she was like, oh, you only get one mother, you know, I'm your mother. But my mother-in-law treated me more like a daughter than my mother did. Like, she just would do things, and probably thinking back, she probably could tell I wasn't used to being treated that way. Holidays, we spent most of our holidays with my in-laws because my family, it was always some type of drama with my mother. Every holiday, like, I hated the holidays so bad. So at first I used to split the holidays between my husband's side of the family and my mom's side of the family. But then I was like, it was just getting too much, you know, trying to, you know, I'm working, I am a wife, you know, I'm a mom, and then trying to split those houses. So I was like, I felt more comfortable being with my in-laws because we didn't have any drama. Like, when I tell you we didn't have any drama, I mean, were they like, you know, discussions or debates? Yes, we would sit at the dining room table and like talk about different things, but that's about it. Like, my mother-in-law would make like the best macaroni and cheese. Like, I love that woman. Like, today, if she calls me and she's like, you know, I need XYZ, I'm there. I'm driving. I'm there. So my mother hated that. So when I didn't go to the courthouse and got married. Like, I had a wedding. Like, my wedding was nice. Okay, it was really nice. My in-laws helped financially pay for some things. My mother did. Of course, me and my husband at the time, we paid for things. We had a nice honeymoon in Jamaica. Like, my wedding was beautiful. My honeymoon was beautiful. And I want to say my mother-in-law watched my son while we were away. And what I'm saying to you is that my family never thought that I would meet someone as well-rounded, as educated as my ex-husband. And it was more so like, how the F how you pull that off? You're a baby mother, you from Baltimore, you ain't got no degree. They was mad. And like, just thinking about like planning out my wedding, how things were, how people acted. Like, I had a really good photographer. He came to my house, took pictures while I was getting my makeup done. Like, when I tell y'all, I can see, and it took, like I said, over 2 decades for me to see the hate that my family had for me, because I defined the odds. I was like I said, my husband's side of the family never made me feel, I think one aunt, she was real shady. But because I didn't have a degree, they never, like my mother-in-law or anybody else, father-in-law, never made me feel any less than because I wasn't college educated. They never made me feel any less than because I was a baby mother. They never made me feel any less than because I was from Baltimore. And it's the energy that I carry that I didn't know that I carried back then. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of my sister, my mother, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, my niece, they were mad. They were big mad. And it's crazy because these thoughts came to me the night of would have been my anniversary, or the morning of the day of my anniversary. I would have been married for 18 years, I think. But I was like, damn, like y'all just don't like my light. Y'all didn't like y'all didn't like my light. You still don't like my light. You still don't like the simple fact that I can move through life. And it may look easy to most people on the outside, but it took a lot to get here. And then just also thinking like certain things that happened within my marriage, certain blessings that came up in my marriage that I never even shared with them because I know they would feel some kind of way. And some things they probably already saw because they would come to our house and see certain things. But like certain things, I just tucked it under my head, and not knowing that these people were hating on me, not even knowing. It's just like insane how your family can like be so jealous, you know what I mean? Like, and for me, I just kept on overlooking the efforty. I just kept overlooking it. And also like thinking back on how I would just try to help everybody. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, of course no one is perfect, but like my niece, I got her jobs. I don't even recall as to ever getting a thank you. Like, thank you so much. Let me take you other than, it's not just one job. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 jobs. I never got a thank you. I think about during COVID because my sister used to watch my daughter. During COVID, with the lockdown, she couldn't come to my place because she would come to my place and watch my daughter. And so me and my daughter's father would pay her even when she wasn't coming because we didn't want to just like leave her high and dry. Never a thank you. So like I said, it was a lot of jealousy because it's like, how are you able to do certain things? How are you able to move in that way? And it was just like so many things that I've been thinking about. Even I wrote some things down, but now as I'm doing this video, I'm thinking about other things, like how my sister never liked me on both sides, my father's side and my mother's side. I am a product of an affair. I am a love child. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. But I was told by, I'm gonna just go ahead and get into that a little bit. I was told by my mother's daughter that my father didn't want me. So I had that dealing with growing up, like self-worth, like your father never wanted you. So it's like, how could someone that's your sister, that's supposed to love you, spew those type of things to, like, what was the whole point in saying it? And that was a lie. You know what? Then again, it may not have been a lie. It may not have been a lie, but I can say this, that looking at the pictures on the outside looking in, I do feel like my parents had a connection. Now, if that's true or not, I don't know. But it wasn't like the way she made it seem like it was this salacious affair, da-da-da. My father's daughter, same thing. She didn't like me. Could not stand me. Could not stand me. So I have dealt with adversity probably before the day I was born, while in utero. And so when I came out, it was like, I was fair skinned, I had quote unquote nice hair, and they hated me. And then, like I said, I got pregnant with my son, met a good man, his family, got a good job, good ass job, making good money, no degree. And in their minds, their little brains, instead of being happy for me or trying to work with me, they were jealous the whole time. Yo, when I tell you my mind was blown, sitting there thinking about like everything, like as I'm journaling, typing, my hands hitting the phone so hard, like because it's like the thoughts were coming. When you fast, your thoughts come so sometimes rapidly, sometimes it's gentle, but then sometimes it's rapidly. And that's why I will always continue to fast, because it gives you so much clarity. You move differently, your emotions are different, your reactions are different. And I don't mean like jumpy different, they're more subtle, more calm, but the clarity that you get when you fast, top tier. So yeah, they were just jealous of my light and who the F I am and what I bring. And yeah, so I laugh about it, but it's not funny. It's so not funny. But if you have any stories that you want to share, of course, comment. Oh my gosh, my cat thinks she's a dog, y'all. She grabbed some stuff off the table and she is running with it. Comment, don't dim your light. I will say, because now I know the light that I have, I am cautious and I move differently now. Back then, I didn't know the light that I possessed. So when you are a black sheep or a Sigma female within a narcissistic family dynamic, your light has been dimmed so much. And I was about to end this video, but now I'm thinking, like, when I was in the first grade, that's what it was. My first grade teacher, Miss Taylor, will always tell my mother, she's a leader. She's a leader. I've never seen anything like that before. And I felt like my personality rubbed my mother the wrong way. Like, she wanted to be a leader. She wanted to have that boss personality. So my mother will always try to say, you're so bossy, da da da. Yeah, because you're mad because you can't speak the way I speak. You can't command the room effortlessly the way I did. And like I said, I didn't even know that as a child. Like, I didn't know. Even now as an adult now, I can feel certain energies from people that just my presence rubs them the wrong way. I don't say anything. Literally, I just show up and my makes people's souls, ass, whatever itch. Like, I get under their skin, and I think it has a lot to do, I know it has a lot to do with living within my truth. So I think as a kid, I've always lived within my truth, but I always tried to push it down. But that's all I got, y'all. I kept saying, I was like, I'm gonna do this video, I'm gonna do it after I work out, but I was like, I'm gonna be sweaty, so I'm gonna go ahead and work out because I got some more pounds to lose. And yeah, I hope y'all have a good holiday if you celebrate it, and I will look forward to reading your comments. Talk to you soon. Bye.